All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the eBay shop. My name's Corey.
I'm Teresa.
And we are Grams and Pops Vintage, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the fallout from the big scam thing, but the transformer issue we had.
Yeah, it was bad.
There's a few things we're going to cover in this video, starting with we had a bunch of questions, a lot of positive, a lot of not great questions, but we had a lot of them fell in 4 different areas.
Yep.
So for the first couple sections of this video, we're going to cover some of those questions. We're going to try and address those. And then the last half of the video, we're going to kind of talk about how this whole scam thing actually affected our real eBay business, our day-to-day. What does that do to our job, basically? That's what we're going to look at. So as usual, though, we do have quite a bit to get packed up and out of here this weekend. We're going to show you some of those. And what's the first one?
We sold some Kirby replacement stuff. We sold a Kirby replacement vacuum cleaner hose attachment.
We had a Kirby vacuum we picked up this last summer at a garage sale for like $10. I mean, they were basically begging us to take it out of there. And rather than have it, try and list it and ship a giant vacuum cleaner, we just dissected it. We parted it out, we got it all into one tub. And this is, I believe, the first thing that's sold off of it, because we just got it listed not long ago. And that sold for how much?
$24.99. And we're selling some Barbies. We sold the 1993 Paint and Dazzle Barbie with brunette hair.
That's her. Those giant 80s, 90s earrings. 90s. And what did she sell for?
$9.99.
$9.99. All right, the first question, or questions, we got several of the same type of questions. Several people saying the same thing, essentially, which was what?
Why didn't you research before you bought them? In not so many words.
Oh, in not so many and in way more than that word.
That was my skimmed down version.
Yeah. We did get asked a lot, or basically a lot of statements about the fact that we should have done our research before we bought them, and kind of like shame on you type comments.
But in our defense, we did do research.
We did, and I don't totally disagree with the comments. Like, yeah, you research stuff before you buy. I 100% agree. But we did the research we knew how to do. We did get other comments that are saying, you know, that's what happens when you buy out of your expertise, when you buy in areas you don't know. But I think that's literally our job.
Yep.
Like, that's what we do. We buy things every day we know nothing about, and we do as much research as we can. That's how we make a living.
It is. I do a lot of research on some things, like a lot. And we didn't use just eBay for our research. I know that's what I might have said in a previous video. I don't remember.
I think they said doing eBay comps is not research.
There are some really good toy resellers out there. I went to one, and I know they sell both the knockoff and the original or genuine or official, I think is what they're called. And so they were part of what I used to be able to do the research as well.
Doing your research before you purchase something, I totally agree with. But like I said, we did do as much research as we knew to do, as we were capable of doing, without having the things in our hands to actually see them. And once we got them in our hands, it only took us less than a week to figure out that not just a few of them were knockoffs, but the whole lot of them were knockoffs. We identified why they were knockoffs and how to show they were or weren't. What are the telltale things to look for? And even now, if you showed me a Facebook listing with all the pictures of those in boxes, I couldn't tell you if they were fake or not without having them in my hand. Not just in my hand, but unboxing them and physically going through them. I couldn't tell you that now, even though we know way more about them. So we did the research we could. I guess shame on us for not being experts in transformers at the time. And that is kind of on us because we were taking a risk buying them. I don't disagree with that. But that is our job. That's what we do. We don't know anything about anything until we buy it and find out.
Correct.
So there was another kind of a flip side to this question. We got quite a bit of people talking about too, right?
Yep. When a deal seems to be too good, it usually is.
Yep. We heard that more than a few times.
But not always. Like if you bought something for $40 and it sells for $400 or for $400 or $40 into $4,000, that I would take a double take at.
Yeah, that's a giant red flag. But I guess I would have to define what a good deal is. From the outside looking in, if you're not a reseller, $1,000 or $1,100 like we spent into $4,600. Now keep in mind that's listed price. If you take any offers, you got to take your promotion off of that. You got to take your eBay fees off of that. All of that stuff has to come out of it. So $1,100 into $4,600 listed price is by no stretch of the imagination in this business a good deal. It's not a terrible deal.
No.
We were going to make money, but it was a very high risk and fairly low reward deal. We would have made decent money, but we were literally buying risk.
Yep.
So that's what you're dealing with for a good deal. It is very routine to buy something for $1 and sell it for 10, or $10 and sell it for 100 and get 10 times your money. So 4 times your money. It's just not that good of a deal in this business. So that I don't think that statement applies here. Right. So I think that takes care of most of the negative stuff. The questions we had to address that we got a lot of. We got enough of them. We weren't even going to address them. But I think we got enough of them. And even though they were kind of more on the negative side, we decided because of the amount of these 2 type of questions, we would address them. So that's done. I think the rest of the video is much more upbeat and positive. So, well, kind of. We'll see.
Kind of.
Hang in there with us. We have a few more things that sold we're going to look at real quick.
We sold some more Barbie. We sold some Barbie minivan replacement baby car seats.
Yep. That's
2.
what they are.
To the same person.
2 chunks of pink plastic. They haven't been listed very long.
Nope.
We have literally nothing in
That's
them.
out of my $5 box.
Yeah, we've been in the clear on that for so long.
Yep.
And those sold for what?
$19.98 total, so $9.99 each. Okay.
Got some more Stampin' Up going out?
We do have some more Stampin' Up going out. One was part of our sale that we're currently running. It's not shut for some reason.
Yeah, it does. I don't know, we'll look at that. It's not quite shutting all the way.
One was part of our sale, and the other one was just a normal priced one.
Yep.
We sold the Perfect Pennant Stampin' Up set and the Morning Meadow stamps, and those sold for a total of $16.99 free shipping.
Yep. So Stampin' Up just going to keep going out.
And we're way in the profit on that already.
All right, what was the next question or the next kind of category of question we got quite a few times?
Why don't you file a chargeback or submit an INAD to eBay so that you can get your money back?
Yep, I think right in that area. I mean, we saw it in various
different forms.
Basically saying use your payment method to dispute the charges. And why don't we do that?
Because we paid cash.
We paid cash. Had this been an online purchase of any kind, we would have certainly used some kind of electronic payment. This was a local Facebook Marketplace purchase from 45 minutes away. And that's just how we work. We work with cash, and most people don't want to take some kind of electronic payment, pay the fees on it when they're local like that, when they're selling things locally.
Yeah, your only option really for being protected on, buying something is one of 2 things. Either you pay with credit card, but nobody wants to take credit card.
Well, they got to pay fees on it.
Yep. And your other option is to go PayPal, but you got to make sure you don't use friends and family. You have to use the goods and services. Otherwise, you don't get protection for it.
Right. You wouldn't have the protection anyway if you did friends and family, which is friends and family, if you haven't used PayPal much, is just a way a lot of people use to avoid paying the fees. But that also removes all your protection through PayPal. So, and most people don't want to hassle with it. If they're selling locally for local pickup only, it's a cash offer, cash deal.
Yep. And a lot of people in there say cash only.
Yep. Now, knowing what we know now and doing this deal and having it go bad, would that change? Like if we found this type of deal again, would you be hesitant to use cash?
No.
Me neither. I would do it again. Not this deal, obviously.
I'm pretty sure our first $900 deal that we did, we paid cash. Oh, I think I wrote her a check.
Same as cash.
I know, but a check can bounce. Cash can't.
But we're protected. They're not.
Yeah.
But no, I think cash is just how it works when you're buying locally at garage sales or Facebook Marketplace for local pickup and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be scared off of using cash again, I guess. But I also Like that's why we don't have that protection, because it was a local deal, and that, I mean, those are cash deals almost always.
But in the comments as well, there was a lot of people saying that even though they are KO knockoffs, that there's still a market for it. Like people still want to buy them, even though they know they're not genuine transformers.
Yeah, so that's one of the positive things we learned from the comments, is we actually learned more about transformers from the comments. We had people that were interested in transformers and collectors and stuff come in and comment that aren't usual viewers of the videos, which was great because we did learn some things, such as there is a market for knockoffs.
Yep.
Which we had no idea that existed. A lot of different products, when they have knockoffs, they're very up in arms when they hear somebody they want you to burn it, and they want evidence you burned it. Like, knockoffs aren't something they accept.
Not with transformers. I think a lot of it is because the actual real Gen 1s are in people's collections already, and they're not willing to give them up. So if you just want to display a transformer, a knockoff or a third party are good ones that you could have.
Well, I think they're good enough knockoffs that for a lot of collectors that do want to display them or use them or play with them or whatever the fact is, for whatever reason, in this particular collectible, people don't mind the knockoffs. They know they're not real, and they're not paying real price for them. Like,
correct.
But there is a market for knockoffs, which means there's a possibility that if all goes south, which it very well could yet, I mean, I've kind of accepted the fact that we're just out 1,100. If this goes our way and we win the case, great. But I've kind of put my mind in the state that, you know, we had a deal go bad and we've just lost the money, and I'm okay with it at this point. So I've moved past it, and if we win the case, great. If we don't, is what it is. So, but that means there is a market. We could get rid of some of these.
Yes, it will not be eBay, because eBay does not, their policy doesn't allow knockoffs, counterfeits. So we would like to protect our eBay account to keep from losing it. So there are, I think, a couple different options we could use.
I know in the second video, or the first video, we talked about we would probably burn these before selling them. But I think the comments about there being a market has changed my mind a little bit. I think I'd be more willing to sell them as long as it was very upfront. I just would never risk our eBay account for it. So you were saying there was a couple other methods we could sell them.
You could. I mean, for me, the one person said that knockoff transformers, KO transformers, are hot on Mercari.
Yep.
I wonder if that's because people have lost their eBay accounts from selling them. I don't know. The other one that I thought of while we were talking about this was, join a transformer collector group on Facebook.
Yep.
And list them for there and ship them through there.
We've actually had people watch the video and say they'd be interested in it in the comments. So there's that. We could sell them on our own personal website, gramsandpopsvintage.com. We do have a store on there we could load them into and sell them. Something we learned recently at the cost of $1,100 is there's a market for them on Facebook Marketplace. We could sell them there.
No.
As long as we were very honest about what they were.
Yes.
I think you could do that.
Yes.
So I guess you guys tell us, the more we learn about transformers, the more we're learning there is a market for them, which is making me feel a little bit better about moving them forward to someone who can enjoy them more. If not, we could put them on our shelf back here. But you guys let us know, where would you sell them? Would you sell them? We're still kind of struggling with it a little bit, but based on the comments and what we've learned so far, we're getting a little more okay with the idea that maybe we could sell them. We're not going to get our money back. We could come close, but that would take a little bit of the sting out of the lesson if we were able to recover some of the money.
Even just to break even.
Yep. Yeah, if we get anywhere close to break even, a $100 lesson I'll learn every day and not mind at all. 1,100 hurts, but it is what it is. All right, so that's the questions. Those are the questions and the comments that we were going to address for this video. The next couple of things we're going to look at is more how did it affect our actual business in terms of how did that deal going bad mess with our eBay business as a whole. We'll look at those coming up here, but first we got a few more things that sold.
Sold some more Stampin' Up. We sold a Stampin' Up Easter Blossoms just in time for Easter.
These guys here. There's even an Easter egg in there.
Is there?
Yep. It's all like Easter and flowers, so
Springy.
very springy. What'd that sell for?
$13.99, free shipping.
Just in time for Easter.
Okay.
And we got this dang thing. This one-winged pterodactyl looking missile launcher thinger. We don't
Okay.
know what this is. We really don't.
It is a Power Ranger Dino Supercharged Terra Morpher.
Apparently you like hold it like this type of thing and you could shoot little projectiles out of it.
The only reason,
I still don't know why it only has one wing.
because it's a morpher.
Well, can it morph another wing? Because it's missing a wing.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, Power Rangers, you're confusing. I don't know why you have one-winged birds, because they don't fly right.
Well, the one question I got for it was, and it made me question because I had to come out and look at it, but they asked me, because it says charge in it, they asked me if it comes with a charger. It is battery powered.
It is battery powered.
And the only thing that runs off battery
The-
is the eyes light up.
yeah. All right, so what does a one-winged Power Ranger bird sell for?
$16.99.
So you don't have to know things about the things you're selling. Sometimes you can actually sell things without much knowledge at all.
But who's going to knock off a Power Ranger pterodactyl?
I don't know, but they would have an easier time doing this than the Transformers because they only have to worry about copying one wing.
Okay, how did it affect our business?
I think the most obvious way was the first way, the hardest thing.
Yeah, we listed $4,600 worth of products. And then we had to delist $4,600 worth of products, which was a whole week, well, 9 days
Yeah, it was a full week plus a bit of listings.
of our daily listings because we try to list $500 a day.
Now, before anybody asks, why did you even list them if they were fake? We didn't know they were fake. Part of the way we found out they were fake, you could see, there's a playlist now, you can go back and watch all the videos, but part of the way we found out they were fake was because of questions we got on eBay, to which we immediately removed them from eBay before we even knew they were fake, but because of the questions we removed them to find out. So, but we delisted an entire week's worth of listings, which meant in eBay's eyes, we went a whole week without doing listings. We went a whole week without doing any work or activity on eBay.
That was quite the vacation.
It was quite the vacation.
I didn't get a vacation because it took a lot of work to photograph and look them up and comp them and all of that fun stuff.
And if you're a reseller and you're selling on eBay, you know what a week without listings does to your eBay store. It just shuts it off. Yep. It just tanks. Like your listings quit selling at the rate they normally sell at. Things start going really bad really quick when you stop listing on eBay. So we had a whole week worth of listings disappear, and that definitely affected our sales in a negative way.
It did. But on the opposite side of that, not only did it affect our sales, but because we have those items here that we can't list and we can't sell to make our money back, we are currently out $1,100, which is our working capital to buy stuff.
I guess maybe that would be the most obvious thing that it affected our business. It did. It took $1,100 out of our working capital.
Yep.
$1,100 that gave us security that if we went out and we found a good deal, we had money in the bank to buy it. Now we're $1,100 short on that, so we have definitely tightened up and became way more cautious with our buying. We've slowed the buying way down because we still have $1,100 tied up in it, and our sales have tanked. So the working capital side of the business suffered, which slowed the business down across the board. So, and we will definitely feel that in our weekly payouts from eBay. Like it's going to sting probably for a few months before we get back on track.
Maybe. Well, for sure until the end of April, because the end of April is the soonest that's when he has to respond to come back.
Yeah, and that's just response time. Like that, they don't have to have a court date set by then or anything. So this could drag on for a while, but I would say at least for a couple of months. What I'm talking about is actually getting the eBay store back on track. Like get our listings rolling again, get eBay out of its funk that we put it in because we didn't list for an entire week. Like it takes a little bit to get things jump started again.
The positive is there's garage sales coming up.
Yep, we have garage sales coming up.
So we'll be able to get inventory, good inventory, to turn around, sell, and make some of that money back in the process.
So I guess that's the most obvious couple of ways that it affected our eBay side of the business. Now, there are a few more, and we'll talk about those coming up, but those are more personal than business, but they do affect the business overall. So we'll talk about them next, but first, let's look at a few more that sold.
We sold some more football cards. We sold 2 of the jumbo pack, individual packs of football cards.
Yep, these guys here, they've got 40 cards per pack in these ones.
Yep.
And we usually sell these for what, 17?
Yep.
Is that what they sold for?
Yep, we sold 2 packs for $34 total.
There you go.
Full price. I don't even know where we got this from. I know it's been a while because it sold. It's more than 6 months old because it sold on our sale that's currently running.
Yep.
But it is a Mizuno Classic right-handed throw baseball glove.
And this is the time to be getting your baseball and golf and stuff like that listed because spring's coming. People are going to start playing baseball, and these are going to start selling. So we got a whole tub of bats and a few more gloves and stuff we'll probably work on getting listed pretty quick. That one sold for how much?
It's so weird to say these numbers because it's not my normal numbers. $36.36.
Yep.
Because I always end in 99 or 95.
And the reason those are selling at weird numbers is because it wasn't even really intentional, but about the same time this happened over the last week or so, we fired off a 30% sale on anything that's been in the store more than 6 months, which has been our only saving grace here. I think it's the only reason we're getting the volume of sales we're getting, and we're getting a lot of them at a pretty steep discount, but they're items that weren't selling otherwise.
Yep.
So we did fire off a 30% sale that I think just ended, and
I think it's still going.
I'll have to look. It either just ended or it's
Will be
going to end in
ending.
a day or so.
Yep.
So I think that definitely helped us out a little bit, but in terms of other ways this has affected us in the business, what do you got?
You just feel like, am I ever going to be able to make a good deal again? That's what I think. Defeated, like you can't.
Yeah, it is defeating, deflating, demotivating, not good. Like it does, it's almost like burnout is kind of how I feel. I kind of feel almost burned out. I don't want to go list. I don't want to go buy. I
don't have problems with listing or buying.
Yeah. I don't even want to buy anything right now. Like I want it to be behind us, and I'm just kind of defeated by it. Like I'm past the money part of it. Doesn't bother me anymore, but just the fact that it derailed us so completely, not just by, if it had just been we lost $1,100 out of our pocket on the street and we never found it again, I'd be over it already. It's the fact that we kind of got taken advantage of by somebody who I believe knew what they were doing. Can't prove that, but my opinion is they knew what they were doing and we got taken advantage of, and it derailed so many other things in our daily life, in our business. I think that's the part that makes me feel burned out, and it really does. It just kind of takes the air out of your balloon.
It did, but unfortunately, we have to keep. Not unfortunately, fortunately, we have to keep going. So we have to keep listing. We do have to keep buying. So I might have to push.
Yep. I think when we're done recording this video, I'll have to go find a mirror and I'll give myself a pep talk and I'll be fine.
Can I record that?
No, I'm pretty good at pulling myself out of burnout, and usually it's by figuring out something I can learn. If I can learn a different category, if I can get into something different, tweak the business, recreate a process, something like that pulls my mind away from it. I'm pretty good at pulling myself out of burnout, so
Hey.
we'll be jumping into that shortly.
So on a note, I can't say positive note. I can't give you crap about cleaning your fishing reels anymore.
My fishing reels got listed on auction and none of them sold.
Hey, but I took a few out separate.
One of them sold.
And one of those sold.
Now
Actually,
I did take the ones that were on auction and I lowered the price and I listed them as buy now.
2 sold.
2 sold?
Yep, 2 sold.
So we have sold a few. We still have a few more to list, but some of them are now listed as buy it now and I lowered the price. They should sell fairly quickly at the prices I have it at.
fishing season coming up now that the lakes are all starting to defrost, defunk, whatever.
So that's where we're at. Kind of feeling a little bit knocked down at the moment, but I think we both have a pretty good attitude towards, like, we just got to push through this one, and we know how, so it's just go do it.
I can make it a little better.
How's that?
I can buy you some cookies.
You can buy, you bribe me with food? You're horrible. I suppose if we get, I'm not going to turn down cookies. I'm just being honest.
Or chili cheese tots.
Guys, this isn't fair. But yes, I think we're on the road to recovery in our business, right?
Once you have some cookies.
Cookies help.
Peanut butter kiss cookies.
So we are getting through. We do have a few more things that sold, and then we got to pack and get to town today.
But before we go on to the next thing, we've only mentioned it once, but we're going to mention it again.
Oh yeah, catch our live.
Instead of our normal video that we release on Sundays, because we release Wednesdays and Sundays, instead of releasing our normal video, we are going to do a live. We're going to go live.
We're planning to actually, we're planning to take that live when we're done and actually upload it as a normal video, so you can catch it that way if you want. But yeah, if you want to join us live, do that. This is the first real one we've done. We plan to do at least an hour or two.
And I'll just be talking and watching because I don't know how to operate none of that stuff. I don't do that StreamYard stuff. I don't do that podcast stuff. So
we'll find. It could be an absolute nightmare, in which case it'd be fun to watch too. So either way,
come and watch us.
Sunday at noon.
Noon Central Standard Time, or what we call normal time.
Yep. All right, enough of that. Let's look at the last couple of things that sold.
We sold some jeans. We sold some Miss Me thick stitch boot cut jeans, size 29.
That's them right there. It's good to see those going out. Pair number 65, and those sold for what?
$31.49.
There you go. I will not miss them.
They will miss me.
So two different kinds of spoons sold.
Now, look at those again.
Are they spoons? Oh, there's spoons and forks.
They're the same brand, the same model.
Well, I saw they were different sizes.
Oh. No, so
that.
those we got in a container. We sold the container already. But those we got, and they were practically brand new. Like, they had the silver keeper, the anti-tarnish thing in them.
Those?
That was one that had the anti-tarnish thing in them, so that we didn't have to worry about them.
We didn't have to clean them up or anything.
Nope. But can I talk about that when we're done with this real quick before we go on?
You can talk about what if you want.
Okay, so we got advice from
Wes.
He was at our reseller meetup in Omaha, and I had purchased, actually Corey had found me a whole bunch of silver-plated silverware at the bins in Omaha.
Yep.
And they were really bad.
They were almost black.
Yes. So I just wanted to, just clean them up a little just to make them so that they're sellable. And so Corey reached out to him because he had said something about what he uses to clean stainless
Now I don't even
silver.
remember what it was called.
It's called Goddard's Silver Dip.
Yeah.
Or Goddard's something dip.
Matter of fact, if you check our links below, I'll add it to our Amazon store if you want to check it out. And it worked amazing.
But if I think about it, I did record myself cleaning one piece, like the before, the cleaning, and the after.
Send me the video, I'll throw it in here.
Okay, I will try and remember that. This is what we're using. We're using Goddard's Silver Drip. And all we have to do is, here's the fork that I'm going to do. It is nice and very tarnished. All you do is stick it in here and wiggle it around some. At least that's what I was doing, was just wiggling it around some. And you just keep wiggling. See how it's like all of that stuff is gone? Like even on the back. I don't know if you're supposed to stick your fingers in it, but I was. And it stinks after it's done its thing. But look at that. Like all the stuff is gone. Almost all. We're going to flip it over one more time in this way. Trying not to stick my hand in there directly. But look at that. Like, is that not fabulous? That is so cool. Dip it, and then I just take it over to the sink, and I rinse it off, and then I wash it with soapy water, dry it, and away we go.
But yeah, you could take a spoon that's like this, that's just completely black tarnished.
and you just move it around in there a little bit. You can drop it in there and make it soak, but it takes longer. So
like
I just
brand
took
new.
it and moved it around, and it's not shiny
Nope.
because it does take part of the stuff off. So
But you could polish it at that point.
Yes, you could, and I'm not polishing crap. So I just wanted to make them
Or
look
spoons.
better.
Crap or spoons. She won't polish either. You can polish this turd all you want. It's still going to be a turd.
But yeah, so if you have silver stuff, if you buy silver stuff, try that Goddard stuff on it because it was freaking awesome. Used in a well-ventilated area because it stinks when it eats that stuff off of there.
I don't know if she was plugged up that night. It like stuffed up and couldn't smell, but I had to tell her like open a window because she was doing it in the house, and we have a pretty big open area, but it was smelly. Like, it got pretty bad in there.
It was cool, but
all right. So what did the clean silverware sell for?
So those are actually 1847 Rogers Brothers. They are the reflections pattern.
Okay.
Each one of those sets of 4 sold for $6.99.
All right. So that's those. All right, guys. So that's it for today. Like I said in the beginning, I think this pretty much wraps up the saga of the scam.
Yep.
We would really like to get back into our normal, more positive content. We don't really enjoy doing the drama
bad
content
stuff.
like this one. We felt it was important to share, and we will share an update when we get it to tell you how it turned out.
Yep.
But I thought it was important to share because this is something that does happen if you're reselling, maybe at different levels, but it's bound to happen to everybody that resells for any amount of time, at some level.
Especially with all the different things that are being knocked off, like Coach purses, Transformers, Power Rangers, all that kind of stuff.
If you haven't been taken advantage of by a seller yet, I think eventually you will be if you do this long enough. So we felt it was important to actually make this series, and there is a playlist so you could watch from the beginning if you'd like, but we are excited to be done with this and just move back into our normal content. And our next videos after this live will all be geared towards that. So for today anyway, we're going to get out of here, and we will see you guys next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.